Hi, I'm Servane Sabertooth, and I just recently finished my first fursuit. I still have some minor detailing that I need to do on it, but it's complete enough that I can actually wear it out in public and not be in shame of it. I wore it recently to a festival, and I got a lot of positive responses, a lot of people wanting pictures. And I am going to show it to you now. I'm going to show you how I go about putting it on. The first thing you want to do when putting a fursuit on is you want to have something very comfortable to wear underneath it, like either a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, or a tank top and a pair of boxers, or depending upon how soft or rough the inside of the underside of the fur is, you could even get away with just, if you're a guy, obviously, just wear a pair of boxers, or girls, wear bra and panties. If anything, whatever's comfortable for you. You want to keep in mind that it's going to be very hot under this. I was sweating up a storm. I had to make sure I kept lots of fluids in me, and I wore a fanny pack at the lower back, at the base of my spine, with a block of frozen gel that you normally take and you put it in your coolers to keep everything cold. And it was just small enough to put in the fanny pack, so I put that in there. And I placed that upon my lower back and just belted that on underneath the suit. It was on the outside of the suit. Unfortunately, it didn't do as much good as I was hoping, so I got put inside the suit. On your choice on what you're going to wear underneath it, keep in mind that there is a possibility that you'll be wearing this and you'll be wanting to take it off, possibly in public in front of other people. So to avoid any embarrassment factors, keep that in mind. And I'm going to show you how I put my suit on here. Okay, what I did when I made my suit was I made the paws for the feet and my gloves and headpiece all separate, along with the tail. It looks like it's attached, which is part of the point. There's actually a hole there, and that's where the tail fits through. You want to make sure you stitch really, really well right there. And also, you also want to do this so that, for one, you can have a full suit and a partial suit in one, as it were. Also, not to mention that the weight of the tail goes onto a belt. I got this for $4 at Home Depot. It's just a standard utility belt with nothing on it. It's $4. It's very cheap. But all the weight of the tail is on there instead of being on the suit and possibly ripping the suit, especially if a child comes up and decides they want to tug on your tail, which sometimes they'll often do. If you have kids, you already know this. So let's get this put on. And put the belt on. Generally what I do is the collar on the headpiece is plenty long for me to tuck on the inside of here, but to save a little bit of time and just to, like I said, I'm just showing you guys how I put my suit on. I'm not going to do that right now. This is a hidden zipper that I bought from Hancock Fabrics. It's 24-inch. Let's roll this up. Key point. When you're doing your pattern on the back side of your fur, when you're preparing it to cut it out, what you're going to want to do is, especially along the bottoms and along the edges and that, you're going to want to take a razor. When you cut your fur to begin with, you want to use a razor blade, because that way it'll prevent a lot of shedding right there, and you'll have the nice fringe like this, which is all the fur instead of just a straight chopped down, look horrible. But use a razor and make sure you carefully cut the marks off, because otherwise you're going to end up like I did. It's probably going to be hard to see in the video, but I got a nice little blue line on my toes from wearing this the other day. These are also, I turn these into boots. There's a zipper on the inside of each one, and they will actually be better used when it gets a lot colder out. I live here in Missouri, and it's gotten to probably -10 before during the winter. So those will actually be really good for when I'm wearing them over a pair of pants or wearing a pair of pants underneath all this. And normally what I also do is I get some safety pins and I go through the front and I reach down into the pants leg and then safety pin this together. That's going to be fixed eventually, so I don't have to, I can hook it on instead of having the safety pin it. There's one paw. And here's the other. And I just bought some shoes that I found for, some slip-on shoes that I found for $7 at Payless is what I have inside these. If you look at my comments, I'll have my Fur Affinity gallery will be linked, and that's where you can see exactly what I did. I'll also be putting up a video shortly that's kind of a tutorial. It's more of a slideshow, but it does show you basically what I did. That. And I actually made the headpiece big enough so I can wear my glasses underneath it, but since it's foam and fur, it sweats really badly, so I'm just going to take my glasses off right now. And normally the gloves go on last, but since I'm not tucking the collar in this time, I made the 4-finger glove. And the paws will be trimmed down shortly. I chose to put my ring finger and my pinky both in the same finger on the gloves. You might decide to do it differently if you decide to go with the 4 fingers. Some people go ahead and go with 5. There's that. And now put on the head. And there's Servane Sabertooth.